Okay. Okay, so welcome to Talk Stories with Baby Co. We're continuing on with the book The Marshall Islanders, Life and Customs, Spirit, Mind and Religion. um, I've already said this before, but then okay, this book has 4 parts. Part 3 is what is being like passed around the academic community. Part 1 and 2 is like basic knowledge of what we already know about, like the geography, the plants, the water, the fish, all that. Part 4 is what covers our religious and spiritual background. And we've covered chapter 1 through 5. Okay, and I'll read the table of contents again for 1 through 5. Chapter 1, well, no, because chapter 1 was the introduction. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Chapter 1 was the introduction. So chapter 2, divinity and creation. Chapter 3, nature and whereabouts of the first living beings, which was the first video clip I posted of me and Eli and Pepe on the live. Chapter 2, 3, 4. Chapter 4 was worship of spiritual beings.
You got a request right there. So if you want the book, DM her your email.
Yeah. If you want the book, just DM me your email, because I'm not gatekeeping nothing. And I'm reading everything like as it is in the book. So there's going to be some things that are disturbing to hear. There's chants, there are spells in here, but it's like I'm gonna say the words if I want to, like, I can say the words, but the words are not gonna do nothing because we're not doing the proper steps to do the stuff that they were doing. So disclaimer, there's going to be disturbing things that you might not want to hear. Okay, because we covered worship of spiritual beings and
Thank you,
the soul and life after death. So that's what we covered last week. And this right now we are going to cover ancestor worship and spiritualism, and also sorcery, which is ganajinik. Whenever we read worship of spiritual beings, it showed the vocabulary of what we were worshiping or what we were venerating before Christianity. And so we had two things, Rajab and Iroj, Anit. So if you go back to my page, I posted the whole lesson that we read about the 2 words, Rajab Anit.
Hey, we were talking about the Juan Cabo Lao. Tristan sent me something interesting. It was like from another culture.
I think he sent it to me too. Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
What culture was that from, Tristan?
It's Filipino, specifically about the Ilocanos, so up north in Luzon.
Nice.
All right. Yes. Okay. And they talk about the ship, like whenever Ipin Rumaja we hear our elders talk about then Timayo me rojaloy nge. What, like they say, if you dream of the Tima, don't hop on it, because then you leave your body, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the last 2 chapters covered that. And that boat takes you to Lawulep. Lawulep is Loa's dad. And he's like, okay, because they say Loa is the one that created Olivin Mayo, la la la. So Lawuleb is his dad. And it's like scattered information everywhere. So it's like we're trying to piece it together, because there's a book that Eli's reading that tells the story a little differently from the book that I'm reading. So we're piecing things together. And excuse me. And then Lawilip is like the higher dude. Like he's like what the high like Zeus. Well, not Zeus
Yeah.
because Zeus is crazy, but like similar rank. So he's the higher guy over everybody else. Good. Okay, so now we're gonna read chapter 6, Ancestor Worship and Spiritualism. And at the same time, the point here is to learn our old history because we don't know nothing. Okay. This chapter is separated in 4 sections. Section 1, Concept and Activity of Dead Spirits, List of Examples. Section 2, Food Offerings to the Deceased. Section 3, Disease Magic. Section 4, Spiritism. Because, we really did magic. We were, like, I feel like the reason why we know nothing about our old roots is because every single thing we were doing was magic. Like, the things we're suffering right now, because you know how there's barely any food or crops growing at Module, and then we rely heavily on imports, and then we got king tide going on. All of those things are things that we use to combat with magic. So, just put 2 and 2 together there. Okay. All right, are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay. As already mentioned, the natives believe in the continued existence of the soul of indefinite duration, meaning like they believe that your soul will last, your soul will still be around even after your body leaves the earth. They distinguish between souls that manifest after death, the so-called jadab, who, after separation from the body, no longer utter any vital expressions. These, as well as those that have ceased to appear, are called jadabarara. The former appear, so there's some that appear and some that don't appear anymore. The ones that still appear are called monaman, and the ones that don't appear anymore are called jumanaman. The appearing spirits are capable of doing good or evil to people, which is why they are both venerated and feared as family guardian spirits. Because after these 2 chapters, the chapter after these 2 chapters, it covers totems and joeys, like what totem belonged to what joey, and what egajab belonged to what island, and the people that turned into those egajabs. Okay, so fear is probably the predominant aspect, which is why the cult of the dead has a more defensive and appeasing character. What the heck does that mean? Fear is probably the predominant aspect, which is why the cult of the dead has a more defensive and appeasing character. So it's like because fear is more common in humans, the dead have more power, more defensive and appeasing character. They have more character to them.
Is it
The
like
spirits
sorry? Does it like feed off of that energy of fear? Is that because that's kind of
I
what
guess
I'm
that's
getting?
what it sounds like. Yeah, it's like fear is probably the predominant aspect, which is why the cult of the dead has a more defensive and appeasing character. So the cult of the dead, like I guess the whole group of the dead and people that talk to the dead, honor the dead, work with the dead, they have more energy to it. The spirits usually appear at night and are seen by sleepers in human form. This appearance is so oppressive that the person can neither scream nor move. For fear of such spirits, no native sleeps alone in a hut, nor does he venture out onto the outer shore or into uninhabited, oh my goodness, I know how to read, uninhabited places alone for fear of being ambushed and surprised by a spirit. Okay. So yes, there are souls of the deceased who have achieved a certain notoriety through their sinister activities. So the souls of the deceased who have achieved a certain... Okay, so the ones that were alive that did things, they also became spirits that did the same things. Type, you know? Okay, so they're gonna mention, they list three of these souls. What are we reading again? We are reading Ancestor, Worship, and Spiritualism. Okay, these three souls. There's Lumakain, Kaiboke, Yum, Lanijri. Lumakain was a close relative of Chief Gabwa. She died in labor without the child seeing daylight. She turned into a Megan quad. The body was wrapped in mats as usual and tied with string. While tying it up, which was done from the feet upwards with fiber cord, it broke near the mouth, which is like an evil omen. So they went to go boo it. The first divination with bub leaves revealed that the body could not be buried on land, as otherwise all the islanders would be devoured by her. The second boo-boo, where did we go? The second boo-boo described the sinking of the body within the bonito zone as ominous. The bonito zone was literally like just the part of the lagoon where a certain type of fish was always at. Even the last divination was unsatisfactory. The people had to consign the body to the sea over there on the horizon, whether they wanted to or not. When the canoe reached the sinking site, Jibe Yum Lakajame threw the body overboard. However, despite being weighed down with 3 stones each at the head and the feet, the body didn't sink. This is the body of Lumagain. Only after Jibe had uttered incantations did it slowly sink, rotating 6 times in a circle. Also, another disclaimer again, they describe certain like rituals that we used to do, and they describe the things that would happen whenever we would do certain things, like that last chapter we read last week was they told about how the Runo or whoever it was, the witch doctor, how he would have to go to the beach and do the magic to keep the tidal wave off the land. Okay, so only after Jibe had uttered incantations did it slowly sink, rotating 6 times in a circle. The weather was stormy and hurricane-like. While the canoe was still far from land, Lumagain was already being seen hanging from the trees by the people on the island. She turned into a million quad. 6 days later, she was spotted emerging from the sea not far from the reef. But no sooner had her father, who washed her in the early years, that's in parentheses, exclaimed, "Behold, the wondrous one." Then she disappeared. The following night she dragged all the islanders by the feet, and early in the morning she was seen bathing in the water hole. When asked what she was doing there, she transformed into a stone, which itself swept away by a tidal wave in the 1970s.
Wait, what?
She turned into a million quad and then turned into a ekajap.
1970s.
Yes, because we still had a lot of our ekajap still around, like up and around those times, but it was the missionaries that came and pushed them into the water because they said it was idolatry. Like, you know Luado and Maur? She had namo. It was a big fat basalt stone, and they pushed that. It was a missionary that pushed that in the water in 1979. Yeah, so they're still around. There's the ones that were like being openly venerated, because it was like we made ourselves into deities. Like the Irojas would pick something and they would be like, okay, this is where my soul is coming after I die. So when I die, my soul will be here. You guys will still treat it like I'm still here. Like that. So we had a few of these. Like those two sisters. There was two sister rocks that were there somewhere low atan. Somewhere low majo. Hi, Jadaikain Melele, you requested to be on. Please be productive, no trolling. There's open floor. Yakoy, yakoy.
Yakoy, kumol.
Okay. So, what was I saying? Okay, yeah. So the Olibanega, they were still up by the time the missionaries came. And then they were the ones that pushed them into the ocean. Luado and Mode was one. And then there's because when we came back as either plants or animals. And these ekajabs, they would also use these ekajabs to like spot places when they would sail. Like say, like how Eli, how me and you explained those two birds. Before, like the only reason why you will know you're approaching it is because you will always see two birds, right? Those things like that, those are called ekajap. So it can either be two birds or it can be like a big fat rock in the ocean. It can be part of a lagoon, stuff like that. We use those to be able to tell where we are while we were sailing through the waters. So we chose to come back as whatever we wanted, but it was only like the royal families that were able to do that. So there was high chiefs and then lesser chiefs. So therefore there was high ekajap, lesser ekajap, and only the higher ekajap had they had negative spirits that they could send out to people to hurt, and those negative spirits were called anich. This is where the word kanijinich comes from. This is where the word kanijinich comes from, because anich is actually like a negative spirit. It's a negative thing that instills fear into you.
Chon kachu.
Yingay.
Ngayon, so kitchen ekajab kana me kujabarar cholo keran lojo. Year time 18 ke 19 and
1979. Rara than no. Okay, cause pogay yung ay really gay red kananagan how we were around like before 1900. So this was like 18. Everything before 1850 is what this book is talking about.
ngayon kaya 1979 inem chira jawa kan.
Yung
Chemala
ako,
ekajab kana duwadan more kap ekajab kana chet enot. Ekajab kana chet chon arberiya ur chon namo. Minagay chichar rong char ro motala ralu. Yung chuno ekajab arbello mejoro kimapkan ot ekajab. Traga por kamanjal traga.
kunagay ba adan the missionaries may raradan ito ay per ijo lo atan majo ako rarajab reno the barar they immediately started to
Wo dor kain.
erase ingay immediately rarajab and nani penrumajalum, like they didn't try to get to know like, hey, what is this? What are you doing? Why do you believe it? How, they didn't bother with that. Nothing. They didn't do nothing.
One of our rubber jump to acquire.
They replaced it. So when I regard you what they nan lay anich, kia ran again chalak nan lay anich wrong Jonathan, man charakani from the Bibles when we go to church. But the real definition of anich is should I go over it again? The real definition of anich is the evil spirits that the high rank Ekajap send to people to make them sick or bring pain or hurt to them. Kamanchoren nga naramit. That's what the real meaning for anich is. Kanagay anich
fearing deity.
hinga anich per yomun Ekajap. So yeah, they replaced it instead of like coming up with their own, they replaced it and replaced that meaning with everything Bible.
Okay. And then when you think about the English translation for Ani, you also think of the fear of God. Like I put the fear of God into you.
Yeah,
And
because the definition it says a bunch of stuff, but there's that one meaning. It says instills fear. So yeah, that's kind of linked it.
Nan lay ani jige. Cara balangan all pain. Bija toto. Your gak temelele nani. Terlalu cino tata kabel no majo. Ar kejar nani. Ani jo ta jalan. Ema je cara cuan ngan rainin. Ngan rainin ni cara cuan. Jala woneo lewat kenan kage. Ani rekaman mana ke ani bija toto kena ke tamak kinar. Dengan ani nojut dengan ani all pain.
Yeah.
Nani jige.
So he wasn't specific.
Yeah.
One milliliter. Okay. Okay, hold on. Let me get my charger so we can keep reading.
Dude, my bad. My connection cut me off.
It's okay. I just got done explaining the Ekajab and Hanij again.
Bit cat. Welcome back.
Okay. Okay, so we just read about Lumagain. Lumagain, she turned into a Mejanquar and then turned into a Ekajab. And she was then Chief Kabua's cousin or close relative. Okay. And they say she's still around. Even today, she is in the favor of the chieftain Kabua. She helps him in both cases of illness and in bewitching wicked subjects. Jeez. So, yeah. Because chieftain Kabua, he passed, so I'm pretty sure her spirit is probably still around. Because you know how they're doing that stuff they're doing in the Nitijale of Majo right now with the unfair stuff that they're doing? Yeah, I think the spirits that are still around are angry about that.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Okay, now we go to Lanijiri. Lanijiri was Kabua's great uncle and greatly feared because he himself devoured clouds in the north and south. Okay. And then Kaiboge. Kaiboge's ghost appeared one day to Nelu. Nelu was a sub-chief who in fear ran at full speed for half an hour until he collapsed from exhaustion and fever. So these are just like small stories for that last part of the section. And that used to be like a strong curse.
Reba. Kijan limukin lojam. Menoro jaji urit. Rajit lelak wewaran manu.
But Lumagain was the Mejanquar that turned into the Yakajap. Okay.
You know, one of
First,
the border you read Walo ko then ichino na nila ng koito. Parang yam. Nilagay.
Some of them, no, not this one. It's a pogayaga or parpok me walk, yeah. There's, because I have like 3 other books. This one is the only one that covers what we were like before Christianity.
Oh, more
Pre-contact.
than Christianity.
Yun nga eh.
Ay kanan chala kan Christian koito na yan yaro. Ito nga ni chino tara.
They said it was, gonna get about the missionary Rarperlo. Island kanchat Rarperlo
Kuchay.
Who's
atan.
right?
Yun nga, Rarperlo kuchay. And then, cause
You make a
it was
war
2
that
ladies. Oh,
road
yun nga, it
that
was, yun nga, 2 ladies. The 2 ladies,
rather than Jabalangan but and Chuan Island book Kitchen Island. A rather than Rim Rat Belak. Belak Rayone lo Yayo Kuchai. Yung rat pedilo Kuchai yung Yan Chet Island. Yung rat Ione Chedia Mijanero.
I think it was
Yung
2 years.
Captain Yoan Morning Star.
Yeah.
Yung Mijanero rar Canary Pen Labro. Yung Kachita Yar Rato Jene. Yung Rawak Pa Majo. Yung Rawak Kachita Kumjala Kachenani. Yung Labro Uwang Bak Anita na ko kanana gagi. Kaya nga may anit. Yung Mijanero Anijo may agajur tata yon na wing. Yon ka manaman kwim na. No kung kaya kachin. Kumibar talangan ailong goam amiro. Yung kanani kiyari medro ami. Yung bak kami na yung watch. Yung kakalain kuni lo plage. Amen. Kakalay ko na. Yung kuni pangan. Yan hero jam. Yung ba wayo na. Kameng. Jebruwe. Yung lak tabelo rube. Ebon rube. Yang oli labro rorar. Pangan hero jo. Yan yun.
Ewa ke ino da ba. Igana chala yan yaro da koito. Ini jadi kalau ngai dan John ridi dan bone minit ada karkan ngai. Ijip tuno morning star rewa maja. Eor John ngajip pin jaga ngaka menina pro kaka pwena dan pamali. Ujo tadi ijip kanan maka jaga kal. Ay kanan rong jaga cik kanan kan mijini itu. Pwena ada kalau rekod kanan itu. Ini ada apa? Chalaya ichin kada kwar chin longin ruto laltak endir kada maja. Ichala plagan wat. Chich chich pwena. Yang ngajip kanan pwena wi kanan. Katar yene ni chone dan rebelere ni pweden riri. Bukan aja tuh tuh tai kecil. Aman, yang jaga tuh aman chone pwena aman.
Okay. All right.
Como que nam cherry.
Yes, thank you for sharing. Okay, okay, it says, under such circumstances, it's easy to understand why sacrifices are made to the spirits of the dead. Lokajin majong katok jemen akjinen. Katok or katok? Katok. I know that's pronounced differently in different ways.
Kado.
Yun nga, katok jemen akjinen. This sacrifice consists of throwing food either on the grave or on the side of the hut. So when we then lolong LOLON, inaccessible side of the hut. So lomemar, we had a side where nobody goes, nobody sits there, nobody walks there. Yung gijona me ko ligdi. And then this like
Tingka toka.
Spiritism.
I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
May kujong cholang mga ngani.
just like how these Buddhism does it. They put
Yeah.
like piece of offering.
Okay. It says apparently with the idea that spirits can enjoy the food. If the grave of the dead is on the island, the food is tied to a pole and planted on the grave. However, if the grave is not on island or the body was sunken into the sea, then a piece of food is thrown onto the sacred back of the hut before eating. So, ngayon warjugun kalbun of your dead relative on the island, you just go take the food there. But if they were buried in the sea or somewhere else, you go put their food in the back of the house. Okay. If not touched again by humans, so if nobody touches the food, then they just leave it for the rats and the crabs and the cockroaches. When they throw the food, it's about blah blah blah. Well. This is when they would throw the food into the back. Okay. It seems to me that this ancestor cult is connected to the fact that certain families have certain illnesses that can transmit to others just as quickly as they can take it away. The natives call this monopoly on illnesses or healings bonjen. 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 Someone contracts the illness by, for example, sitting next to the head of the affected person's bed. So, but it's like instead of like actual sickness, it's spirits. So, some families have their own spirits that protect them. That's why I've seen Adan.
Remember when I talked to you about the Manbe?
What's the manpe again? Tayo kar?
They're the one that like know what's coming. There's like a spirit protecting them.
Oh yeah. Okay. So there's certain families have that, and they call these spirits bunjin. So sitting with relatives in the affected person's hut, or sitting with relatives in the affected person. Okay, so this is like spirit sicknesses. Then, like I guess people with spirits,
Yeah.
families with spirits that protect them. So some people can get sick. Magic stuff. Or ramarong nanganamijen just sitting with them. Aka aramijen me marong lewat emarong bar magajan poge nanganamijen kwe. If they give it to you, they can take it away really fast too. Yung nanganamijen jadian kujong walak. They used to, other families are able to transmit fleas, fistulas, panaridium. I looked up what dying panaridium like adan. Kumayadan. Epo jakan me, epo ciri dukan me pelo arin pain.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Nangan me jero dukan. They're spirit sicknesses that can show up on the physical body. Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Tangan mi yo, walagum, to jen meja to. Luar jale, ninnap.
Ninna ba nga na ya. I was looking for ya kato the land. Ninna.
Army yo na me, jenabay na ngay timon. Chon na chuy, rajabay jirgin kabin matuan. Ngayon nga minenay po yung walo. Etang kalala jilingir. Ringing in the ear.
Okay.
I would join family lo meji ngayon. Kapanan imagine jarang like ngayon ko ni quarter They already know you're gonna steal from them. Right behind it, right? The minute they'll call they way. Because they'll call they are, ako yung bawat kaya. They already know.
Right.
Wait, medyo todo ka na yun, no? Sisibata hard yun.
Ning.
Ruga di baru kit, no da olip rumayal ka olip chui na ngayon mga timon.
Yeah,
Chet
man.
chet
Oh.
family, timon ka na yun ka recip cip yang aray warning on. At chet family ka,
Oh.
wala tan kapureo,
Yeah.
rabi wajak kariri.
Oh, okay. Wait, nani ome, nani na toyongan. What is the word you guys said?
Ningajap. Katayo.
Minjap. Okay. Nani na toyo ko pongojen.
Ojek,
Okay.
Ojin.
Pojen. Yeah. Okay. Other families are able to transmit fleas, fistulas, etc. Not in cases, what it says where the other people know how to protect themselves against them with the talisman, which is a loa. Marmarin loa. Just pamali par warair marmarin loa. Ngejab marmara marong, something that you put with your clothes or your body. It could be like a little leaf wrapped in cloth or a
chet ray.
string.
Meno yala bayar kar kajar bale ka kangur, kamanjin kimi, kamanjin mang kajab kimi. Meno ra jiyo, peranjab coren.
Okay. In any case, the transmission of the disease and its removal are linked to the family's jadab. Okay. So yeah, it depends on the family and the jadabun pamalian. Even today, the islanders are deeply afraid of these diseases and are careful not to touch old mat bags belonging to other people, as they might be infected by a stingray's tail spine hidden within. Oh. In case you want to steal my mat, a stingray's tail spine with it, and it's infected with poison.
Rainin, karatolak, nga kayo muro da karatolak, lalabro chiburum, lalabro. Or jet chicken ko chabay with chiwi, luminan mo year way. Kola chiwi kay, ijalawan
Yeah.
ka din, agan minangan porang ka na. Remo year ale, minangan mo year way, kola chiwi kay, ijuno pim. Inga ko jaya tayo chuno kay enot jeni bada. En minapagay kuit pimum, lukun ko yung ijoren pim. Brush by the guy and when you are and we drove him. Right, give me another gonna warning, Jabro web.
Okay. Yeah.
Nyaro nalek, you know. I remember my grandpa told me
It
that
won't come back, Nagan Michavan, Lukun, and come back like what.
I remember my grandpa telling me that one of his close friends, agarwar kote pat chonarmit. Rano chune ba kum batak. His hand was like somewhere in his body was really hurting, and every time he like tried to move it, he couldn't move it because it hurts. He was in pain so much pain that he
From
didn't.
stealing.
Yeah,
Okay.
nah,
Okay,
not
now
that.
we're gonna Okay, now we're gonna go into spiritism. Okay, like literally working with spirits. Spiritism seems to have been, it used to be active back then. We used to be actively participating in spiritism. It has become more rare these days, but it's not extinct. Well, because this was written in 1904, so I'm pretty sure it's extinct now. When spirits appear of their own accord, various names of deceased people are mentioned. Once the correct name is found, the spirit responds through flutes. It also answers every question addressed by flutes. So Last year, a chief's sloop, which is like a little boat, I chartered. Okay, this is the guy that's writing the book. He said last year a chief's sloop I chartered was absent for over a month instead of 2 weeks. So 2 weeks longer. The owner, he was worried about his ship, went to a spirit woman to request information from her spirits. So some are ready, some just get warnings. So this guy went to a woman whose family spirits, like she could request information from her spirits. In the evenings, the woman, as it was her custom, she went to a remote hut and sang various songs intended to attract the spirits. She asked her questions, and the next morning to the chief said that he could just relax because his little boat is on the way. It was facing a headwind. So this is what the lady said. And then when the ship entered the harbor a few days later, the people on the boat basically said the same thing, like, oh, we drifted off because we were facing headwind. So they like confirmed what the lady said. It says the spirits often make themselves known by throwing stones at the huts covered in pandanus leaves. However, since this is even more frequently done by natives who are trying to lure a girl or woman out of the hut after a prior agreement. So, spirits used to throw rocks. I mean, they still throw rocks. That's how they communicated with us. But sometimes it's like, to the ladies' huts. You know how the men used to go and throw rocks at the huts to get the lady out.
Yeah,
They go date. So they kind of forgot that spirits also throw rocks too. Like they forgot about it. And he explains that the natives, because they're aware of how, they go throw rocks at people's huts and go get the girls out, they sometimes believe that stone throwing is only done by spirits. So it's like, it's either oh my gosh, that's confusing. Okay. I myself know of a case where a white trader standing with Chief Lageri or Chiliam of Mile, not far from his stations, Ragarongan Armit Karakargan Dragay. Yung rebelde na emagawa, okay, somebody's throwing rocks. So he asked the chief. He asked the chief. He said, he turned to the chief and said, okay, do you know who's throwing rocks? And then the chief said, oh, that's my cousin. He's mad at me. Just katalak lang eban kajorre nga. The chief in question, who died 2 years ago, so this was like published in written in 19, died in 1902, is said to have had intimate contact with spirits. It is attributed to this relationship that in 1905, all of his real estate was spared by the tidal waves while the lands of the other chiefs were completely destroyed. So this chief that he was talking to was working with spirits, and when the tidal wave came, they protected his home. Yeah. So that's what it covers. He just gives a little, the writer just gives a little bit of insight and opinion.
Bueno ba kan menna karagal mechito bakana ri karan makana bueno ba lamaro najaji ke karchikanalan timonna ri kejarwalangan chikano.
It's like they knew. It's like they
Iba eno da baga ko iba eno da ligaro na karan makana bo intro to maro. Paling najaji ke timonna bar karagal arado kejarwal chikano na timon.
Okay, wait. And yet natives who are most aware of their own evil deeds sometimes. Okay, it was 50-50. Rather than, they forget. And then the other ones, they only think that only spirits throw rocks.
Kon
So
ma
it's
kay
like,
ni
it's
me
like
kejar
half
wal
half.
poy e kejar wal poy la le poy kanan tam bal la we wa de lan yim jirgiri gom la le poy me no kamani e chop ka to kay poy e la le poy wa rano yo ni pa ni rojo kon ma ri le poy rana ro jala le me cha to do tamino we yan ni traer e jira kay acche da ga e bo janga igap chala kay e lan me cha to do kejar wal kay y jara da liga ro kejar wal kay igap chala me cha to do kejar wal kay
Okay. Okay. Okay, Kia. Chapter 7. Sorcery. Anijanich. Anijanich is shortcut for Anijanich. That's what it said in chapter, what, chapter 3?
3.
Yeah, chapter 3, rar kamalele, chapter rar kamalele, molin, adan, real meaning for Anijanich. Anijanich is short for Anijanich. Okay. Okay, chapter 7, sorcery. Sun, animals, and plants as sources of magic. Magical remedies against spirits, illness, and death. Okay, wait, this is 1, 2, 3 sections. Section 1, and sun, animals, and plants as a source of magic. Section 2, magical remedies against spirits, illness, and death. Section 3, magical remedies for gaining courage, getting good fish, and rain. Because a lot of the magic we were actually doing was like it worked with the weather and nature. Like
Mm-hmm.
if we want more rain, we go do the magic for the rain. If we want the tidal wave to stay off of our island, we go do the magic for that. And what people are doing nowadays, we were more working with nature and animals. Cause like it's like not many people are able to eat off the land because the king tide comes and the salt water gets on the soil, so it kind of messes with the crops. But
Yeah, from my own understanding, I noticed that the only way back then, the only way they used black magic was going to war.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was it. They weren't doing it on like they weren't throwing casually at people. Cause it was like when we did magic back then, it was more sacred. It wasn't misused for
Mm.
the greedy stuff,
It was very spiritual and connecting
and
with
and
Yeah,
and medicinal and
right.
healing.
Exactly.
That was, I don't know where that came from. We'll figure it out, but
Like, why do we do that?
I think it's when the government, I mean, when the G people came, when they started to implement Nilijalengan Ipin Rumajo, I think that's when we started to utilize it for bad, if it makes sense, because the interclan wars,
the Panama started to kick it in.
the interclan wars came, and then while we were having interclan wars, the interclan wars turned into interclan court cases, interclan
Mhm.
lawsuits.
Don't get me
Yeah,
started.
Okay, so I
You know,
think I'm pretty sure by the time that started getting implemented into our system, that's
yeah.
when we started to utilize our magic for bad.
That's when the branch, you know, corrupted it.
General Caberron, Tokujan Creedy.
Mm.
Yes.
Kanaga
Gonna
Minor,
yeah it
they want to even
oh
Kalmija. Ulaway, Eurojara, Cabin Eurojaram, Kanagar, Run Pak Chagan Chigir.
ingay
Yaran Creedy.
ingay.
A
Gonna
Gagan
then
Kakura Jonagan Purige, Minaname Kajarval, Purit, Kakure, Echep ke book bridge jenar mi joran pujena pamilian yala bakal kamman
Gonna
yo
go
di
then.
wana
With that part.
rukena ga ga
Cause the interclan wars, they're gonna go yeneme, then the Germans ragaritoguma implement their Nidijala system into our culture. Yeneme raritoke then it was our very first time being under one chief, and that was Langani. So before Langani even won the war, we were never like that. There was never no imbalance like that. It was just because we were under one chief for the first time ever, when normally it used to be one chief for each chain. But Langani was the first one to rule over both chains. That's where the power struggle came in, because it was our first time. We're all under one chief. That's not normal, That wasn't our normal. So the Germans came, implemented the Nidijala system into our culture, and then everything just went left from there. And we're still dealing with it right now. So, shall we go? Okay, so chapter 7, Sorcery. Section 1, animals, sun, animals, and plants as resources of magic. Okay. When celestial and local spirits exert a veiled influence on them, the primitive man seeks suitable means to counteract this influence, or, once damaged, to escape. Okay, let me translate that, because that's very big words. When the spirits from the stars and the spirits on land exert a veiled influence on them, when they put when they kind of start controlling us, the primitive man seeks suitable means to counteract this influence. We used to try to find ways to fight it or escape it. So when the spirits of the skies, stars, and the local spirits, the spirits around us, had control over us, we would look for ways to counteract or escape. Whew, my brain. All right. As a means, he uses his own mental strength as well as the powers hidden in the elements. Hidden in the elements: fire, water, air, earth. So nature. So he would use his ideas and also utilize nature to fight this control of the spirits. In the Marshall Islands, the magnetic soul force is strengthened by the influence of the sun. So we used to charge ourselves with the sun. We used to charge ourselves, charge our energies, charge our so-called magic powers with the sun. If you wanted to start doing magic, all you gotta do is just go outside, lay in the ground on your back, and stick your tongue out for a few hours, so the sun can charge your tongue, because it's the power in the words when you do spells, I guess.
Yeah, the throat chakra. That's just same thing as it.
Okay. In the Marshall Islands, the magnetic soul force is strengthened by the influence of the sun. Anyone who wishes to become a magician, because remember the ranks, because it was high chief, lesser chief, and then right under them was the person that did the magic stuff and the Wino stuff. Anyone who wishes to become a magician must lie on their back for hours, exposing their outstretched tongue to the sun. Only after weeks of absorbing the sun's rays is the tongue capable of emitting rays, as it were, onto humans, animals, and inanimate beings. So a few weeks after you lay down in the sun and stick your tongue out for hours, that's when the power of the sun comes off your tongue. And that's when you will be able to start doing medicines. Because remember, rajis kujong wuno, wuno jatan cara balik pen mer. Oh, why he leave? Oh, como mola man tapingin na away nga. Okay,
I
thank
think
you
he
for
has to go back in
joining.
for work.
Oh, do you wanna join for Rose? You can join. Okay, I'm gonna join. Yagoy, yagoy.
Yagay.
Yagoy, yagoy.
Right.
Okay. So, okay. Magical power is increased by the properties inherent in animals and above all plants. Time out. Magical power is increased. Okay, so if you wanted to, cause look, I didn't one of the reasons why they weren't able to really get our our history down is because of the language. Because there's one word that explains a whole bunch of stuff, right?
Yes.
So in English they called it the magician, but and they called it magic, but lokajin majal is the runo yung then aramidyo me then kaman wuno then woo and all that stuff, the medicine, the runakono, that group
The
of people.
healers and yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Where do we go? Okay. However, the use of external means serves solely to increase the magician's reputation and gain power over the people he has bewitched. So it's like they would only use plants and animals if they wanted to do things to others. The magician's influence then. Oh, wow. I just had something click. Okay. It says we only used animals and plants with magic if we wanted to control and do things to other people, because before that we already were like, we could just speak things, we could just speak it and it would happen. But if we wanted to do extra damage, we would add on the plants and the animal stuff.
Even nami, the like when you speak something and then it comes true. 이렇게까지 마요.
Oh, I totally don't know.
Yeah. One of my sisters would know because she said her mom told her that's what it is.
Yeah, so okay, because they say Kajin Majal is very like ancient.
And no,
It's one of the oldest languages in the world.
I think she said elaborate if I'm saying this wrong.
What was it?
Thank you.
Labalon.
Labalom.
Maybe.
I'll ask her.
That sounds interesting. Okay. In most cases, however, okay, it says the magician's influence then automatically extends to all spheres, to spiritual beings, to illness and health, to life and death, to mental disorders. Hold up. To animals, to plants, weathers, currents, and natural phenomena. Time out. I'm stuck at mental disorders, so we were aware of mental health back then. Are you kidding me? And then we got the generation. Oh my gosh, and then we got the generation above us that's like, dying mental health, haha, ko mental, haha, like, bruh, this is crazy. So we were aware of mental health way back then. Come on. Okay, because I also read this book. This book is based off of how we were before colonizers.
Adan kemira na imera kangayangach. Kemen kangayangach ikach. Menawaitin melolok. All of men. Pero
You mean
regarding
like when we're singing in the front?
no. What I mean by kangangat is the C word. Cologne.
Okay, yeah.
Kangangat.
Dude, I hate that. I hate that so much because, like, what if someone's allergic to something? You know what I mean? Like, I know that's not relevant, but it kind of is. Like, hello, why don't I keep doing like spray your shit all over me?
Okay. Okay, so um I'm so stuck here. Mental disorders. Okay, cuz they said Japan, cuz you know how we were, Japan came and they totally like ate us up and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of our grandparents and great grandparents were traumatized by them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they speak
Okay.
Japanese and all that.
Okay, yeah, so the Japanese people, they they came 1915 to 1945. This book was written and published before all of that. So it's like the missionaries came first, and when they came first, and then okay, there's the missionaries first, and then the traders, and then the Japanese, and then the U.S. Because the oh my gosh, hold on, time out. German came first. That's crazy. It's kind of
Right.
mixed up there. They kind of came at the same time. German came, and then the missionaries came.
Yeah, don't forget the English too.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
whales.
cause it was the Germans, and then the missionaries were the U.S. missionaries, and then
So before the missionaries came, um, there were a couple of boats that came to the island, but they were sunk by each island. That the ships try to what do you call that? Dock their boat, their ships, but eventually they end up getting destroyed.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it was never written down. We don't know what European race was there first, but I know they documented. Some survive, some ships survived, some ships didn't. So we will never know who was the first to actually made contact with us, with our ancestors.
I see.
Yeah.
On a kind of unrelated note, not me thinking like what do the animal whales have to do with this, but I know what you're talking about.
okay. All right. Okay, now we're there. Now we're gonna go into and I know this is because I guess I don't know because it's like when I was reading into all this, I felt like that inner shame. But I know that's not my own shame. That's like me breaking the cycle, because that's like the ancestral shame that was embedded in them to have been like this. All this that I'm reading.
That's crazy
And
though.
okay,
Mental disorder.
yes, we had
Can
Wunos
we
for that.
can we go into detail on that?
It don't say, but
Really?
we can't. Yeah, it doesn't say. Mental disorders can be cause what I get is like maybe like bromich, stuff like that.
Yeah. Not only that, but when somebody puro dyan ngiretyadan kayo renir or going off to work, coming back, they get
Hmm.
traumatized.
Yeah, that stuff. Okay. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna go into winners. Winners that were used like because in this book they call it magic formulas and potions, okay? So just disclaimer, if you're disturbed, get off. Manito na to mamandara jabelugu na kiroro. Yeah, it was mostly the women, right? Because the women did a lot. Even the women were the ones that were beating the drums.
Not only that, but they're the one that were chanting.
You might.
Yeah. Good lord. Okay. Now we're going into magic formulas and magic potions. Whatever. Wunos. Lokajin Magil is wunos, okay? Because people be like, it's the vocabulary be beating us up. The magic formulas are usually very mysterious and secret, just like the magic potions themselves. Only through the influence of Chief Wujilang was I able to have some magic potions made according to ancient patterns. They consist of strangely intertwined and woven palm and up leaves or fiber cords. Spirits are often quote-unquote eaten away by rubbing the body they haunt with the rotting husk of coconut palm shells. The main effect of these and similar embrocations, what does that even mean? Time out, hold on, I want to Google it. Embrocations. 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 I've never seen that word before. I like to look these words up because it makes me it helps me understand what the heck is going on. Embrocations. A medicinal liquid that is rubbed into the skin to relieve muscular stiffness and pain.
Binib.
Yeah, like a
One.
blessed beneb.
Right.
A beneb specifically for epwich. Okay, the main effects of these similar benebs and anointings, however, is that the veins do not flee. The veins, like the blood veins.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that again, that whole phrase?
The surging blood expels the spirit of... The main effect of these benebs, however, is that the veins do not flee. Meaning, for example, that the surging blood expels the spirit or the illness. So if you get the blood flowing, that'll help the spirit go away. Okay. A secret remedy causes the intestines to protrude and hang low. A warmed palm frond is inserted underneath, causing the rectum to return to its normal position. So if this is if you got like really bad stomach problems, they have a wuno that helps your intestines come down a little. But then part of that wuno is you gotta put something in your butt.
Colonoscopy.
Yeah. So yeah, basically something like that. Yeah. We had our own colonoscopies. Okay. Feared by women and morally destructive.
Huh?
What? Is that a typo? Okay. Feared by women and morally destructive, the conjuring of blood flow was a powerful tool. The conjuring of blood flow, so they could make, they used to know how to make women bleed. For what though? Sorcerers, feared by women and morally destructive, the conjuring of blood flow is a powerful tool. Sorcerers and chieftains use the threat of this magic potion to make women obedient. Oh, do what I say or I'm gonna bring your period on. Excuse my language.
That gives a new meaning to Billion Millionaire.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how they used to... Atan? control the women. That's so sad. Father Jack Schmidt
Long
gave
time
me
no
the
see, Pukigo.
Hey Nate, Miss Thang, what's up, girl? I was asking Uno Tane, we're reading. Did you read the Ganadan? Uno go meron ko dyan kamaningan dumayo, or the ones that we used to have. Okay, Father Jack Schmitz, which is I'm pretty sure he was literally a missionary preacher, gave me the following information about the use of the magic potion and its counteraction. To induce blood flow, the sorcerer places a piece of palm leaf in a bup fruit or under a matting material under a juggy, warning the woman. If the woman touches one of these things, if she touches the bup or the juggy, her mejanalung will come. If the sorcerer wishes to inflict ill health on a specific woman, he crushes a h0l3. What? He crushes.
So are you saying that? Are you saying that they
What are
had
the
a?
LA?
Are you saying that?
Whole h0l3. Okay. It's
Are you
it's a
saying
sea
that?
cucumber. It's a sea cucumber.
Are you saying that they had the Uno for to make the
Medyo na lang come. Yes.
early
Yes.
at any time?
At their own command. Yes.
That's crazy.
So, yun nga, if yeah, that okay. Well, they gave this freaking scientific name.
What's it called?
Holothurian. Holothurian. Yeah.
That thing.
Okay. Okay. If the sorcerer wishes to inflict ill health on a specific woman, he crushes a jibanabin while saying her name and saying magic words. To remove the illness, the woman is struck with a piece of palm leaf dipped in the water of a young coconut, ubalip. That's what they called it back then, ubalip. Or she is doused with the water from the nut containing the palm leaf. So, to remove whatever illness they put on her, they used coconut water and piece of coconut leaf. Okay, meanwhile, the sorcerer utters words that speak of porous. Oh my gosh, another hard word. Porous metaphors. Define what the Medrepores. Okay, here we go. Medrepore. Stony coral. Oh, like just the rocky part of the reef. Oh my gosh, why didn't they just say that?
They want to sound professional.
The sorcerer utters words that speak of the rocky part of the reef, of north and south, and of sacrificing boys. What is okay?
Wait, sacrificing boys?
I guess.
Damn.
A palm frond rib, so like one of the freaking coconut leaf, broken into 6 pieces and inserted into a person's head, causes wasting. Mongot. Jeez. Okay, these are just the things that we used to have. If a thief climbs a tree, oh yeah, and they got a chapter on superstitions.
Yes.
If a thief climbs a tree and ignores that piece of coconut palm frond, or if the climbing loop attached to the trunk, or if he ignores it, he'll fall, and they used to call it jeriyabun. Jeriyabun. Jeez. If a puffer fish is stepped on and enchanted, the enchanted person must die after their body swells up. So if somebody steps on a puffer fish, like they take puffer fish, put a spell on it. If somebody steps on it, their body swells up and they die. And they call that go what?
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
kiss a
go on.
teeth, go what? The following magic spell. Oh, I'm not gonna say that. The following magic spell is supposed to bring you back to life, and then it's a bunch of ancient words. This is the second spell that I've found in this book that like we used to bring people back to life.
Not necromancy. Oh gosh.
Yeah. But it has the translation in English. And it says, I have guided your soul. I have animated your soul. There to the north of me, there to the south of me. There at the zenith. Zenith is a star, you guys. It's a constellation. And I think Laklika was a constellation too. There on the surface of the sea, there where you die, there where your head is bowed. Awaken, awaken, and run. And they called this Anjin Nur.
Yes, these are online. So if you want a copy, DM baby call your email, and then she'll send you the link for the book.
Thank you. Okay. So if you wanted to be courageous, they had, for Kabada. If you wanted to be courageous for Kabada, they had a wuno for that, and they had words for that wuno. And it has it in Marshallese, but there's the English translation. And it is, thunder rolls on the horizon, your courage, lightning flashes. The enemy has been... Oh, wait, sorry. I had a notification, sorry.
Sorry, that was me.
Thunder rolls on the horizon, your courage, lightning flashes. The enemy has been struck by a spear. When you surface, let them inquire about you. This parrotfish strikes you. This parrotfish lifts you. This parrotfish. You are brave. That shark swims back and forth searching for prey. The parrotfish is mentioned here because upon seeing a companion wriggling on a fish rod, it rushes at him with such fury that it doesn't even notice a nearby fisherman. So they based their Wuno words off of parrotfish because, like, if it was for the enemy, they would curse the enemy to be like a parrotfish, because when a parrotfish sees their own enemy, they kind of zone in on them and they don't notice anything else, and then end up getting messed up in the process of not seeing clearly, basically. Okay, so they would utilize the parrotfish in their wunos because the parrotfish doesn't think clear, so they would curse their enemies to not think clear. Okay, makes sense.
Dude, these parrotfish looks.
Huh? Where did you go? You paused yourself.
Because I'm looking at the parrotfish, how they look like.
Oh, parrotfish?
Yeah. And their teeth are like human teeth.
Yeah.
Ew, well, let me look.
Some of them.
I need the wuno so bad. Oh, okay, I see. That fish. Okay. So that we used to curse our enemies to be like parrotfish because parrotfish don't think clearly. I guess because they use another fish to catch a parrotfish. Oh my gosh, okay. The magic formulas used to enchant the fish are truly graceful. Yeah. So run it back to us saying we use magic with nature. We used magic to get more food. We used magic to stop the ocean from washing over the land. We used magic for rain to come so we can have more food. That's how we used magic. So we also used magic to catch fish. There was certain spells you could say to catch a certain type of fish, and each fish had a different chant for it. That's how we used to also catch fish. So
Yeah, that's where Loa comes in,
yeah,
because he's
yeah.
the one that made the animals, all the creatures, all the humans, all the food, all the trees, the land, the reefs.
Okay. Um. Okay. So this collection of these fish talk, because they called it fish talk, would make an interesting humorous book. From early morning until late evening, the fisherman tries because like we would literally talk to them, try to persuade them to come into my net. Come into my net. You know? The fisherman tries to persuade the tasty inhabitants of the waters through conversation to bite and allow himself to be caught. So it was like we worked with animals. Like we instead of taking their life, we would like here, but you need to just give yourself up. When
Yeah,
catching flying fish, oh
there
sorry,
were
go ahead.
there were chants to make fire bigger too. Agar wo roro na mo.
Oh.
Kaya, yeah.
Cute. Love it. Okay. Kind of like a roro for different types of fish. So if you want to go get a certain type of whatever fish you want for that day, there used to be different kinds of chants for those fish. Okay.
Speaking of seafood, guess what I had today?
Yet,
Yeah, in Jora.
Well, what are you doing? You need to go get them. Go get them get them to pass it down to you. Hello.
Yeah, I finally had Jora in like a long time.
Wow, don't say that. I've been craving it for like 5 years now. Okay. Okay, so and then what's flying fish look in Majo?
Jojo.
Jojo, okay?
Nga.
They have the chant for it. Well, not the chant, but the words for it.
Yaga
To
kage.
catch it. Yagakere. Yeah. Whatever. The flying, no, what do you mean the jumping fish? The flying fish. Do we even have a word for flying? Oh, yakelak. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. So it has the thing for that. It has a thing for the flying fish. And it's basically like the translation is like get into the canoe and protect yourself from the sun's rays in that soft resting mat that the maiden on land sent out to sea. It's literally like persuading the fish to get in my net. That's how we used to fish. Good lord. Okay, sorry. Okay, as soon as one is caught, they are mocked. Wow. So if you catch a fish, you kakadadahi or whatever you call it. If the catch isn't a blessed one, the fisherman strengthens himself by eating. And then he says words. And the words translate to my food has been reached, whereas you swim around your food. So dang, we gotta persuade the fish to come into the net and then we gotta talk smack to them right after. When lowering the fish rod, and then they have the saying for when you lower your fish rod into the water. And the saying translates to hold on tight to the hand of the maiden, which is the fishing rod. Now you shall shake the fishing rod. I am truly angry with you. He knows that he won't fall into the canoe, that he won't hit himself there. This canoe is a transport canoe. He swings himself here, there he floats in the air on the fishing rod. So that's a whole translation for the whole thing. Except, in Maya, it's a lot of ancient words. Oh man. So we also used to conjure up rain. They called it bune. Bune, B-W-I-N-E. A palm frond is enchanted and thrown into the sea. After 6 nights, the palm frond turns black and the sky is overcast. If it rains too heavy, the frond is taken to the beach to dry and then the rain will subside. So, yeah, a lot of the magic we used to do had a lot to do with the weather. We were weather people. We had the 4 brothers, north, south, east, and west, that we would
Yeah,
call on their spirits.
that's why we always navigate through the stars and know when a bad weather comes.
So so it's kind of like, you know how a lot of people say that the way we used to live was bad, right? So I feel like it's easy to hear a majority of people to say that, because back then commoners outnumbered the royal families.
True.
So it wasn't fair for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Katu the weather? I think it
Katu.
says that in the book somewhere. Katu? Katu? Are you serial? Because
Well, katu the weather.
that's where ligadu and lagadu comes from. Oh, okay, because I found an etymology book about the Marshallese language too, but it's in German, so that's another one. Because a lot of our history is actually in the language itself.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like literally the real meaning of
Wasn't
language.
the German museum, right? Was it? That was it. The one that have our.
Yeah.
Was it on the German? I thought it was the Russian. I believe the Russian have a lot too. Have some.
Yeah, it's just that we don't know because they're supposedly this country's enemies, so we can't know nothing they got going on.
I appreciate
Why you
your.
look so sus when you said that?
Huh?
Or are you in cloud 9 right now?
Wait, you said, cause what did I just say?
They're low key
Yeah.
the enemy.
Yeah.
Cause that's another can of worms itself.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean it
I need-
it stems back to battle even before that.
Cause
What
there's
line up
that, yeah, that, cause it's another minion. It's another whole. It's a whole other story. Why, you know?
Were you trying to make your gogo visible or what?
Make my what?
Your gogo.
I don't have any.
What up?
Yeah,
What
wait.
up?
Yeah,
What
go,
up?
yeah,
What
go.
up? MMK.
You know, like how you say we're like weather people, okay?
Yeah.
Tanganay me nane likatu, chone me jala katu, somebody that knows the weather. So katu means like nge kujalay meja todo, Oh, army jana chala mecha to ejala katu.
Oh.
Ligatu lakatu. Ngayon ba beautiful okay reo yung ulio.
Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense because I always wondered why we had two words. Two words for beautiful.
Ran gini ke kajang le generation ne me ya kaya le kajang ke chala kalale nani ligatu lakatu ke. It's more of like beautiful than handsome ke. Aga lukun nga konan describe jo na rin me kuya ko em ko ba lukun reo.
Reo.
Lukun ulio.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, thank you for sharing. I didn't know that. I like learning.
Kabi ya ko ale pe ta ni den.
What are you
Siya
like?
ko dia ko na.
Nice to meet
Oh,
you.
Nice to meet you. Okay, ijabar to ba ngayon on the road. Charaman wa.
Okay, go ahead. Thank
All right,
you.
Charaman.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Raman. Oh yeah.
Love
Yeah,
it.
that was the end of those two chapters. And then hold on, the next chapter after this for next week is superstitions. And superstitions and oh no, where did the book go? Where
Kalau
did the
wis
book go?
superstitious.
Every superstition.
Kalau lu ko suspicious.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Because you
Here
like
it
to
is.
eat fishes.
Y'all saying all that, I'm hungry. Okay,
Do
wait.
that.
Where
Tell
did
me,
it go?
I don't know why, but today was like the day for me to eat jora, fish, you in pop shake.
I love that. I love that for you, man.
I'm so jealous.
It was so unplanned
Congratulations.
because it was like right after church too. They're like, "Let's go to the Googie's house." I'm like, oh, I'm just following you guys, so let's go.
Did your guys' new Rugagi show up yet?
Our new Gogie is I forgot his name. It's start with the B. Who the heck is A2XL? Sorry, not that word, but damn, straight up use my government name.
Wow, be nice.
You're neither the July name.
I don't know. I don't know who is that. So yeah. They want to go on the cover. Let them be on the cover.
Okay.
2XL. That's crazy. What do you wear? Your boxes are 2XLs.
Ooh, big booty. Thank you, coconut watermelon. I did a lot of psychedelics for this. Okay, wait. Superstition. And then hold up. Superstition. Oh yeah. Okay. Next week is superstitions and origin of tribes and totemism. Wait, let's get to what they got on totemism. Oh, okay, this is the one.
Let it be. Come on, get it. Just.
No cheating. Okay,
I like
cause
spoilers.
cause I skimmed through a little bit of it and it has like sections of different islands and what person turned into what ekajap for that island. Yeah, and then so it has so if you're like a Rubigini, they have a specific type of ekajap. So does like Ruwache, Kwajalein. And I think that's where the Peko Peko You guys familiar with Bego Bego, the Texas team?
Yeah.
I think that's their totem. Somebody told me when I was young that that was their family totem, but they didn't say totem. But for them or somebody, it was sharks. It's like a family thing, you know?
It's like
I think
Amakua and Olelo Hawaii, which is like their
Bako like they're what the Joey.
Something like that. Somebody told me, but I might be
There's
wrong though.
there's the other Joey called Ribago.
Yeah.
hmm.
I don't know. I feel like those are the I don't know, something tells me that those are the people that that's the family that was able to, work with sharks.
Yeah, so back then that's what they were. They're the one that could you know communicate with sharks.
I have one of my dad's Winnow books, and it's a Winnow book that was passed down from somebody before him. And I was skimming through it, and there's a Winnow for Kilongin Tako.
Yeah,
It's like what
yeah,
the heck?
yeah.
For
So I
what
heard
though?
one of the elders that passed away from here. He told me a story that some of the Brunos and the Joey Ribago, they're the one that sealed some of the sharks' mouth back in the island.
I think I heard that too.
But some of the islands, when they go touring, they have to wear that, just like how the brother said, the leaf around their body.
A
Talisman?
talisman
Talisman.
for
Yeah,
protection. Yeah.
That's a loa. Bruh, okay. So we used to make our own loa with like leaves, string, seashells, plants.
so they would
Sometimes
wear
I
that and
think
go
yeah, and like
dive
some
for food.
animal body parts. Like I think the way our weapons were designed, like how we had that shark tooth chainsaw looking
Yeah,
thing.
Right.
yeah,
I feel like the materials we used were also loas in them within themselves.
Hmm.
Cause you can like you know how in other cultures, like if you use like a rabbit's foot, like they be talking about like some cultures they carry around a chicken's foot or a rabbit's foot for good luck, chicken's foot for protection, stuff like that, body parts of animals,
Okay.
talismans. Like in order for me to have even, cause like when the black magic stuff situation happened to me and my little family, I didn't have any resources to look into who, what, when, where, how. Right? So, ipin rumaja kay jud rumaja ko yung talangan like yap or tuvalu or kurubat to get some certain types of black magic removed, right? So I didn't have those resources, so I ended up looking into like the resources here in this country, which is like the other magic
The
communities,
hoodoo and
hoodoo, voodoo, stuff like that. Cause and in order for me to understand what the heck was going on with my little family and me, I like with me not having an elder to ask the right questions about things pertaining to Kabel, I had to end up like just studying magic itself, just the entire universal history of magic, period, and magic of other cultures, magic in general. And it's crazy. This whole world is wrapped up in magic.
it
yeah.
is. That's funny that you say that because I think about what's going on here or what has been going on here in Hawaii too. And like all our ruros, either removed Toronto and Mayo or they moved like to the US continent. They moved to Turtle Island. So we don't really have too many people with that knowledge here. Not anymore anyway.
Yeah, and it's not being passed down either.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and like like okay, because some people, if you've heard me talk about breaking the matrix, right, or breaking out of the matrix or the stimulation, the matrix is thinking that magic is just a fantasy because everything around us is weaved in magic. The media, the celebrity distractions, the American Nadijale, all of it is all weaved in high magic, and we are the pawns because we think that's just part of fantasy when really it's being utilized against us since we were born.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Because the
like we
systems
have.
that we grow up in are weaved in magic, like sigils, talismans, songs, frequencies, music, movies, all of it. You see, all
Even
the younger
spirit box.
generations are going crazy,
Yeah.
and they went crazy according to the rise of technology because they started to really use technology to mind control.
Right. It further disconnects the entire species.
It's like they disconnected humans from the collective, from the universal collective with the higher, with the most high, and created their own collective, which is what is in our fingers, what's in our hands, our phones.
Mm.
So it's like, because whenever we look within the Marshallese community, ibiruroar kujong rongage yum elolo kabel and black magic. It's not common for us to find defensive magic or protection magic in our own community
Right.
because
That's
they
why,
replaced it.
and I mean, that's why you suck out others because that knowledge isn't there.
Yeah, that's why there's like they started to misuse this whole church stuff, being a preacher stuff, because we're seeing more often the preachers and deacons treating the churchgoers like garbage. It's more common for us to hear about that than it is for us to hear about preachers and deacons helping the people.
Right. What happened to Kobe Automate?
Yeah, because greed, because it's like we only fell into this kind of behavior because we came here and got caught up in the survival mode, like worrying about bills, worrying about bills
Our next
instead
move,
of,
worrying about
yes,
our next meal.
living paycheck to paycheck instead of
Right.
like, because a lot of like when we worry about bills, we worry about having to go to work. And then when we worry about going to work, all we have to worry about is giving all of our time to work, and instead of giving time to sitting with our families and passing down the oral traditions. That's how we got caught up in this.
Right.
Stimulation.
Yes. So we think we're coming here to this country for a better life, but we're not. We only come here and get caught in the system that they already created for everyone else that's already been here, like the Asians, the
Modern day
Hispanics, the black
enslavement.
people. So we're just basically the last ones to break out of the mind jail that they created for us.
Hmm. You know,
So
I was having kind of a back and forth with someone about like all the things culturally going on with the indigenous peoples of the world. And this person, I think he or she was Kanaka Maoli, and
Hmm.
they were saying that
What is
the
that?
way that
What does that mean?
Native Hawaiian.
Okay.
So this person was saying how Hawaii is the starting point to where all the indigenous cultures are going to start rising up. And I mean, I believe that for years now. It starts in this ocean, period.
Hmm.
That's crazy. Well, a lot of it, like it's like whenever we read into what happened to us, Rumajo, it sounds very fresh to us, but compared to world history, we're just the last ones to go through it. Everybody else already went through their own process. They already went through their own process of breaking out of the mental conditioning and rebuilding their own culture back. Like for example, the video you shared in the Facebook group, the Hokkaido and the Ainu.
Oh, the Ainu people, yeah.
Yeah, because towards the end of that video, it said things changed because there was a rise of new activists that wanted to revive the entire culture, including the language. And it's like people already went through that. We haven't.
Right.
We're still over here looking down at our own ancestors, and just really, like, if you just listen to the way people talk about the way we used to be, like, yeah, every culture has had their shameful ways where if you read about it nowadays, it's like, oh my god, we used to be like that, because that's how I feel.
Right.
Because it's like
It's so
as much as
demeaning.
as much as I'm against this whole, like, misusing the whole religion and church thing, I also still have my own questions every time I read this book, because it's like, okay, we were basically going through our own thing where it was building up and it was going to explode within our own community, but it was like the rebelles came, and they came at a perfect time because we were already against each other. You know? So they capitalized on what we were already doing to each other.
Yep. Slim pickings or easy pickings.
Because it's like, because we were mostly interested in, like, the metals. Because they kept coming with metals. That's what they had to offer to trade.
Yeah, the
Metals.
silverware.
Yeah, metals and tobacco. And I forgot the other thing. And what we had to offer was land, territory, and our wives, our sisters, daughters. No, actually no. Syphilis became known as the chief's disease because the chiefs would offer their wives as part of trades. And whenever they started offering their wives to rebelles and outsiders, that's when the diseases came.
Yeah, Allah,
So the polygamy, the polygamy tradition we used to have, which was like the chiefs would have like multiple wives and a bajillion kids. Yeah, that tradition died out because of syphilis. And it was bad because syphilis wiped out like a whole generation.
Right.
We lost a lot already. For us to be the type of community to always hear Jab Malagalak Manudel, man, we already lost a lot. And me being more Americanized than most people and speaking on things of like going back to our old ways, it kind of contradicts everything. Cause like, how am I over here and I'm preaching about this stuff? But it's like I'm over here, I'm seeing how the Rumajos are turning out over here, and then I'm hearing about how the Rumajos at Majol are acting with each other and amongst themselves, and it's like, what the hell are we doing, y'all?
Acting like a bunch of fools.
What the hell are we doing? Cause we over here, we're losing the culture. Cause not only are we giving a lot of our time to these 9-to-5 jobs, we're leaving the children at home, but the children, they don't have nobody else to hang out with. So they hang out with those crazy ass children at the school, and them crazy ass children at the school is getting them into guns and shooting each other. And then now it's like, oh my gosh, it's rain. The call is coming from inside the house.
Right? It's like, bro, you're at work all the time. You have no time to supervise your
Yes.
children.
Yes, you're at work all the time. You don't know nothing, so you can't be mad at the kids.
Right?
Because it's
And
not
then
like,
you don't put them in programs so that way they can be around people who are a little bit more positive too.
but
And
but that's the thing though. Like we don't always have programs, and at the same time, the adults that come here, they don't know that we have access to things like that.
exactly. And
Because we
the
stay within
resources.
ourselves so hard.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're
That's
welcome.
why, someone came up to me yesterday and she was like, you're the reason why, like, I opened myself up to people outside of our culture. I was like, oh, thank you. That's nice. Like, I'm glad. And, this person does have a lot of friends from different parts of the world.
But if we get to know the community around us outside of the Marshallese people, we would run into resources. We would run into better networking, different opportunities. But we stay within ourselves so much that we don't even know what's going on with the local city politics.
Yep. Exactly.
So yeah.
And sometimes too, just to touch up on, like, not putting kids into programs is the lack of resources. Not having enough to provide.
Yeah, and also I noticed that within the Marshallese communities across the states, I don't really see anything for like specifically the youth. Like, we got things over here for the adults.
Right.
And then we got things over here for the food vendors. We got things over here for what? But we don't have like, cause back then in Mayday in Arkansas, we used to have like field days for kids, where the kids had their own tournaments on the field, and while the adults and the other people would be at the basketball tournaments, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't see that within the Marshallese communities, but I still see more of criticizing the younger generations. I still see everybody criticizing the younger generations, but I don't see nothing being done about it.
Right.
Like okay, before, so you see these kids dabbling in gun violence. Okay, then create something for after school. Then how about that? But I'm just a regular person. So these are just my opinions. I feel like the community picks and chooses who they want involved, because when one kid makes one mistake, they are automatically judged.
Amen.
I agree, because for example, there is, and I'm not talking smack, I'm just pointing out what I'm seeing. So in some of our communities, we have sporting things for the athlete kids. But what about the kids that don't even like sports?
Right? What about the focus on academics or arts
or arts, not just sports, but arts, like, art programs, tech programs. Get these kids in tech, video games. You can make money off video games.
Right.
Like, I don't see nothing like that.
Ooh, I like what Loki said. She said, Jennifer. She said, I also feel like the community picks and chooses who they want to get involved. Because when one kid makes one mistake, they are automatically judged.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Eli. We were just talking about that.
Oh, really? Y'all know damn well they ain't going to the NBA. Sorry, but yes, let's be realistic now.
Bro, where's the lie? Where is the lie in that? Hey, you know what? I will just say, that my nephew, even though he didn't go to the NBA or the NFL, he did represent us in the Olympics. So, but that's like 1%.
Yeah. Yeah, because you gotta have like high statistics,
Yeah,
high stats.
you have to have certain stats, and then you have to place, and there's like a whole process in that, and I didn't realize that.
Alua, what are you eating now, man?
Grapes. Fiber. Source of fiber.
Grabe.
Well, you were talking about freaking jogara, so.
Man, must be nice. I'm over here in Mako.
I'll trade you. We got dates in the kitchen, and I was like, chocolate. No, it's not chocolate. It was dates. It was, the little raisins, like the big fat raisins. Yeah,
Hey,
and then
that's good for your body.
it is, but I still want chocolate.
That's funny because I want grapes.
There you go. You guys swap. I'm good on the
Yeah.
junk.
My Marshallese friend just graduated from us at a tech school. That's good.
We love
Props. Because tech is the future, okay? Tech is the future. Let me say it again. Things like coding, blockchain,
Cybersecurity.
cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. Tech is the future.
It's
Tech
not
is
the
the
future,
future.
it's the today.
Software, something like that.
Yeah.
Why are you? I'm low-key. I'm paranoid around my own people, and that's why.
Yeah, Jennifer, why?
No, I feel you.
Never
Because I
met
get
a
anxiety
culture so
around like certain
judgmental.
people too.
Yeah.
Never met a culture so judgmental.
We are. We're totally judgmental as hell.
Very.
I hate that for us.
Right.
But it's I look at it like if they don't like you because you're Americanized.
I'm born in America and act
I look at it like they, because me, like growing up, I remember hearing Rumados around me criticize Americans all the time. Like you go Adan, what is that word? Aran rubelle. But whenever, like, yeah, but whenever you would look at what they're criticizing, it's just a husband and a wife giving each other a hug and a kiss before one goes to work. And I used to hear Marshallese people criticizing things like that and saying that's Gulen Rebelle. But it's like that's basic human activity. That's what are we so not of love that much? Like we criticize everything that has to do with spreading love, sharing love,
Right.
being acceptive of each other.
I've only ever been to one Marshallese wedding where Dorothy was like, "Echa money they grew up here, so you may now kiss the bride," basically. I was like,
you guys know what the Marshallese word yeah means?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
fine.
Rainbow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Yahweh.
Yeah.
Why can't we wear bathing suits? Because
Yeah,
our
well-
kneecaps will turn people on without their consent.
Yeah, like the word.
It's because
Yahweh.
our kneecaps are parere.
Like I feel like the ones that hate on Americanized Marshallese, it's like they hate from a space of ugh, I wish I could do that, but I heard my whole life that it's
Christy.
embarrassing.
Christy, you need to. He's straight up saying because our kneecaps are up.
Yeah. I've seen these young girls wear crop tops. Bruh, Excuse my language, but our titties was out. Okay?
Right.
Nobody sexualized us. It
That's why
was
we're shirtless around the house and around my neighborhood. Titties out, nipples out.
pushing boundaries. Yeah, free the nipple.
Yep.
I've seen young girls wear crop tops. It was more illegal. Well, no, not it was. It wasn't. No, it's okay. I think it's okay to still show our stomachs because anything our ancestors was wearing, because we were topless, completely topless. It was
You
more.
got it,
It was
girl.
more
Freedom.
forbidden. It was more forbidden to show anything from the hips below, but anything from the waist up was totally accepted. So I feel like as far as girls' tops nowadays, what yoga, like, if they see right here, like, that turns you on. Does that
Well, the reason why okay.
just this part of my shoulder blade? Because they're like, oh my gosh, and while I'm like, okay, so is that like,
I think people are getting it twisted. The reason why, Helen, they say you know that that you know our people forgot that our ancestor had no top. The reason why they forgot that is because when the gospel came, the missionaries saw that it was wrong and they demonized it basically. So that's why when our elders now say, "Oh, rungang manat," their meaning of that is because of their title being a Christian.
yeah, oh, manchaje manindun kurijin.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what people tend to get it twisted. So when they say manat, we have two manat. We have our culture manat and we have our Bible manat.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, and then
And
that's
then
where they meshed it.
yeah,
They
so
replaced it.
so when the Bible came into a culture, it got bonded together.
Mm-hmm. They replaced it. Like the biggest example here is the real meaning of Anich.
Yeah, like that.
That's how like they totally replaced it. Oh man, we're very disconnected. It's very sad. Like we can we could have been, we always could have been a multi-gabung culture like every other culture, because there's the Chinese that are Buddhist and then the Chinese that are just not Buddhist
Yeah,
at all.
they're not Buddhist. They're Some of them are Buddhist. Some of them are they convert into Christianity.
Some of them are
Yeah,
converting to Christianity. Some of
Yeah,
them
Hindu,
some
practice,
of them Muslim. Yeah, it's like
Muslim. Yeah,
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 animism is
it's
still
like
practiced.
the point where we're at right now as Rumajo right now, with all this information coming out, we're kind of getting into that to where we're multi, because I know damn well there's a big chunk of Christianity and then there's that other chunk of people that just don't go to church at all, but they don't not love God, they just don't go to church, and then
and
there's the
now
ones
there's
that
a
question it, and there's
yeah,
the ones that
and now,
yeah.
did you know that there's a good
Mhm.
community of Muslims at Mayo?
Mhm. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so they're
I ended up getting in touch with one of them, and I was asking him questions just out of curiosity, like,
mm,
and he said around 20, he like they did good during the beginning of the pandemic, and around 2022 is when everybody started to move to America. So when they first went there, they started off with like they ended up having like up to 120 people. But then whenever people left in 2020, they got down to 40. So that's where they are right now. And I asked them, I was like, what's like how do people receive you? Like, cause I seen his name and he was talking in a news article somewhere about, he was like, the Muslim church also helped the Marshallese people, but you guys didn't put it in the newspaper. So yeah, that's how I seen him, cause he was commenting under something. And I asked him, like, how do the Marshallese people receive you? And he said it's like, a lot of them are kind of like, it's, let's just put it this way, it's mostly the youth that are curious about being part of something else other than Christianity. So the point where we're at right now overall is that it's like, as far as awakening goes, right? Because, you know, the energies of the planets and the universe right now, it's going crazy. You look around the news, it's a lot of tsunamis going on. It's a lot of earthquakes, volcanoes erupting, flooding, heavy rain, all that. It's because it's spiritual things going on. And the purpose of all of this is because it's like we've reached a point where nobody has a choice but to see the truth for what it is, which is all these things that's coming out about our actual history that has been hidden from us for generations. And there's also, and you know, I don't even have to I don't even have to ask people, but just because I'm aware of the general energy going on in the universe, I already know, as within, so without. So whatever is going on outside of us, it is also correlates with what's going on inside of us. So what we're all going through on the inside is just a lot of awakening. Like, we're all coming to questions about our spiritual beliefs. We're all coming to questions about how we are as Marshallese people, how we are as individuals. Because everybody has no choice but to wake up now. And
It's
if you
like
don't want to wake up, you're going to live a different reality from the rest of the world.
right. It's like sit with your shit now or get left behind. Basically.
Even within the church communities, I've seen that some of the younger generations start gossip because of family. Well, where is it learned from? Okay, Mr. Warar, no picture, no name, so I'm going to accept you. Please, no trolling, because I don't know if you are a troll account. Yahweh, Yahweh.
Iya,
Yahweh.
iya weh.
Okay.
Yuli?
What? Yeah, their parent. Cause okay, I already explained this before in another live. So
Oh,
the key, the general key to life is balance, right? So Christianity, the way we are currently doing Christianity as Rumajos, is instead of it being balanced, like for example, the yin and yang, right? You just imagine the yin and yang, white, black, light, dark, right? Christianity, how we do Christianity is we stay in the yin. We act like we don't have no yang.
Mm-hmm.
So that creates imbalance. And whenever we try to ignore our shadow side, sometimes when you think you are burying something to hide it, you are actually burying a seed. All it does is just grow in the back of your mind. So if you're on the forefront, living as the type of Christian that only acts like you have only all yin, you create an imbalance within yourself. And when you create an imbalance within yourself, your yang side overloads, and then it just whoosh, your shadow comes out, and then you just start doing things to make you backslide because there's no balance. And I feel like the way they do the way we're doing Christianity right now is the same way they're trying to do mainstream spirituality. So I don't agree with the whole love and light BS, because that is, it's not love and light. It's balance.
Right.
Shadow work. This is where people talk about shadow work, where I was watching a live yesterday. Somebody said, what's the difference between your ego and your shadow? So your ego is kind of like the shield you have over your vulnerabilities, right? The things that are sensitive to you. Your shadow side, it comes out when you respond to triggers. It comes out when you get angry and you say mean things. It comes out when you're sad and, you just mistreat yourself. That's your shadow side. So whenever we act like these parts of us don't exist, it overloads and it builds up, and then it just washes everything over, and now we just operating in boo-boo energy. So balance. So I feel like there's those types of Christians, and then there's the very open-minded ones like Eli. Eli is a Christian, but Eli doesn't wear a mask. He is himself, because, God created you in his image. So I feel like the best way to honor God is to love self, because we are created in his image. So whenever I say they colonized how we connect to God, they gave us the method of connecting with God in a way of giving, like constantly giving and giving and giving and giving and having nothing for yourself.
Sorry, I just heard my name.
Yeah.
I went to the restroom. That's why.
I was talking about the yin and yangs and balance, and how there's the types of Christians that only act like they have all yang, and then there's the type of Christians that are just themselves and just don't wear a mask at all.
Oh yeah.
Like you.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I feel like this whole, like, come on, man. You have to think about it. Like, there's the ones like I also grew up hearing you don't need the church to connect with God, right? And then there's the people that go to church, and then they end up becoming like, they end up being at war with themselves, because it's like, dang, I want to go to church because I want to hear the word of God, but every time I go there, it's always these extra energies at the church that just make me not want to be there at all. So then it makes me question whether or not Christians are good people, because you guys say this is a good place for me to be, but at the same time, when I come here, this is how you treat me and make me feel about myself.
Right.
Yeah.
That part.
Because to be honest, it's supposed to be a sanctuary of healing the mind and the soul.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's, and because me hearing you don't need the church to connect with God, I also heard people tell me, just go for God, forget the people. Ngay.
Like, what?
But jab may ni yara me jaran lo mancharen away. Quit jab talangan mancharen for them. You go there for God. That's also what I heard.
Yeah, but that's the
Which
thing
is
that
true.
you're saying, is that the energy that's around there makes you either want to be there or not be there.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that could be yin and yang right there. What
Right.
that's saying.
Yes.
It
Because
could be
it's,
true,
yeah.
and it could be true. You go there for God, but not the people. But the downfall is that you in order to get yourself straight, you gotta walk it alone with God, you know. And
Right.
meditation is part of that. So when you have that immediate knowledge, it's all
Well, I'm not taking these grapes.
one way,
Yeah.
one way down. Because you battle with yourself mentally, and not only yourself mentally, but with other auras around you. And and I experienced that, but I just don't mind it anymore. I just feel like, oh, that's them, that's them. Honestly,
How can we not mind them if we need to live by his words? How can we not mind them if we need to live by his words?
you know,
That's where you
that's where
like
you,
decode. Well, not
yeah,
decode. It's
that's
like
where
you got to
you,
use your
that's where you,
discernment.
yeah, that's where you gotta have your discernment, and whenever spiritual attacks upon you, that's between you and God. You guys are self only. That's where meditation comes in
Okay,
order
what
to
about
receive your discernment.
what if you go to church and the person that you need to hear the word from is also using their position to criticize you?
That's where you have your tongue for. That's where you have your words.
Call it out for what it is.
Call it out for what it is. The blasphemy of it.
Yeah.
How
Stand up for yourself
how can you preach
in the
this?
name of Jesus.
How can you say you're this, but you're doing this?
Right.
In order for you to gain people instead of the qualityness. I mean, instead of the heaven. How do they say it? Uh, where they put a quantity over quality. Would you have the qualityness from the word from the Most High, or would you have the quantityness from yourself for yourself? Just some of the stuff that I learned from my parents.
What if someone can't speak up? Wait, hold on. So, what's your take on the money going into these churches?
Uh,
And what if someone can't speak up for themselves in a big crowd?
what if? Oh, that's a these are just some. Dang, chat. I like this. Okay.
That's where I say, okay, what if someone can't speak up for themselves in a big church? That's where I actually gonna say, like, go home, open the Bible, and connect with God yourself.
Yeah.
The church and the preacher is just the middleman. You can hear God yourself too if you take the time to connect with Him yourself.
Okay. Can I add on to that? It also says in the Bible that the church, the temple is your body. The church itself is your heart. You keep your heart pure, nothing else can phase you. That's where you stay true to yourself and connect yourself with the divinity, the holy divinity.
Yeah.
I'd
It
I
also ties with God is in you.
Yeah.
I'd like to touch up on the previous question about money going to the churches.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to get that last because I got a lot to say about that.
For sure. I do just want to add real quick that the thing that I've learned about money is that it's energy.
It is energy.
And you can use energy for good or bad depending on what it is.
Yeah.
But especially when it's for the churches, you probably should be using it for good. And that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah, so you know the words in the Bible, it says give with pure intentions.
All right.
Yes. Energy. Yeah, it's the energy
Yeah.
you give it with.
Yeah. So if you give with pure intentions, blessings are gonna 10 times folds are gonna come back to you, blessings. But once you give it, it's up to them. If they use it in a bad way, karma is gonna come to them. If they use it in a good way, good karma is gonna come to them. Vice versa.
Yeah, but I mean, just the perverseness of how, especially within our own community, how some churches, not going to be naming names or like doing anything like that, but you know how some churches they believe in like, oh, and like, basically like give it your all. But and this kind of goes back to something that Babyco was saying like a few months ago about how people will give their all but not have anything for themselves to survive. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's correct. Yeah. So in other words, there's limit to giving up.
Right. Boundaries.
Yeah. So there's like, for example, if it's for God, it should be only for God. So it goes God, my family, my friends, and myself. Meaning the tithing. The tithing is for God and his people. So that 30% or that 10% is for the church.
It's supposed to go to the church and like help the church goers.
Yeah, with their
Tithes.
words,
And plus, like molin chuan matan chongol it wasn't always money. Like
It
some
was
people
always
gave
offering
food, some people gave clothes.
Yeah.
Because what you give to the church is supposed to be redistributed back to the church people to help
Yeah.
them. So it used to be also clothes and also food.
Yeah. And because that we live in the modern day, and what goes around is the green paper. Without it in the modern day, we cannot survive. So that tithing turns into that green paper cryptocurrency to help. And that's why they say you got to use it wisely. Otherwise, corruption is gonna come to it. Yeah, money is pure evil. But you just gotta learn how to reverse that.
Right. Learn how to not manipulate, but use the energy.
Yeah.
Transmute it into something better.
Better. So if it's corrupt, turn it around. Use it for good.
Yeah. So whatever is like, I have no idea what's going on with the local churches, but I'm aware that some are falling. And
they're
just
falling left and right. Yeah.
pay attention to that, because those are people that have been misusing their power.
Yep.
It just like the word. That one saying. Don't just learn from your own mistakes, but learn from others as well. So in the Christian life, that's what you gotta. In the Christian life, it's basically a lot of battles mentally. You just gotta.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's what I wanted to say.
You just gotta know where it's at, though.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like a lot of my actually 100% of my mental health problems stemmed from religious conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why people, tend to turn away from the church because it's more about the green paper instead of working on helping others with their, mental health.
Yeah. Yeah,
It
cuz
brings up
it
a lot of
became this
trauma.
greedy.
When our prophecy in the holy book, some of them were battling with mental health. Well, most of
And
them.
plus I feel like a lot of people just choose to become preachers randomly at some point cuz it's like churches don't pay taxes for one.
True.
Two, it's a like okay, I'm a former criminal, so I'm going to use my criminal thinking here. If I was grown and I've been living in this country that I was not born in, and all I've been doing has been going to work, wake up, go to work, and the money just the only way the money is gonna come is if I keep having to get up and go clock in and give my whole body, right? So if I wanted to think of a quick way to get money without having like something that's real easy without me having to do all the extra legal paperwork for taxes and stuff like that, I would become a preacher.
Or
I
start a
would
cult.
run my own church. That is a cult. It's a cult. The way they do it is a cult. Let's say that.
He's trying to say,
I
what's
come
this a cult?
I what do you call it? Shame on you, you know?
Right. No, call it out for what it is. That's exactly what it is, and it's unfortunate.
What if they're using the book to manipulate you, telling yes, that hello, that's why you gotta step out and because look, what Bible are we growing up with right now? King James Version,
King
right?
James
Or
Version.
New International. But
Yeah.
the thing is, before King James Bible, got a Bible in Geneva. Before Bible in Geneva, it's a long line because it all came from the Emerald tablets. The
Mm-hmm.
actual real Bible, Ethiopian Bible, come from Emerald tablets, which is the oldest Bible in the world. It's the Ethiopian Bible. Ria Ethiopian, that's Africa. That's the middle of Africa. So King
Mm-hmm.
James. So Geneva, the Geneva Bible was the first Rubele version of the Ethiopian Bible. But that Bible had more books to it and more information about spirituality things and things for self. How to honor self, how like all these things. So, when King James was the king at the time, and at the time he was the king, it was also Pope something. It was a pope at the time. Pope Alexander the first, second, or third, one of them.
Yeah, it was Pope
So,
Alexander.
when King James was alive at the time, he did not like the Geneva Bible. He didn't like it because he was like, no, that Bible it empowers the people too much. I want to control the people. So, let me write my own version. So, he did that, but he didn't really do that. He just gathered a bunch of people, had them pick and choose what to take out, what to leave, what to rewrite, what to edit, and then published it as his own Bible. But he took it to the Vatican first. Oh, that's another banned word. He took it to them, and they approved it to be published as the Holy Bible. So the
We
books
could
they
name
came out because, huh?
we could name them Voldemort. Or
Yeah, the
Manjarele.
Voldemort. Manjaren, ano then? Pope, pop. Okay, so the Vatican, oh my gosh, they approved it they approved that Bible, and then like if you compare that Bible to the Ethiopian Bible, the Ethiopian has over 100 something books. They took out 66 of those. Wait, no. We had over 100 first. The actual Bible had over 100. They took out Yingakjaleo, but right now we are at 66, right? We're at 66 right now. But why is the Dead Sea Scroll? Yes, because there's things that they kept, and then they took out the more important things. Like, did you guys know that there was a Gospel of Mary Magdalene? There was a book, there's the Book of Enoch. I have that if you want it. Just send me your email. I have the Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch talks about when the Watchers took him out there, but when you translate it to Nanin Ran again, the Watchers was aliens, Nephilim, get that.
Yeah.
What else? They took out. There's a Book of Giants. There was yeah. There's a lot of lady books. There's a lot of women. Yes, Mary Magdalene, the high priestess whom Jesus had 3 kids with. Yeah, they don't tell you about that either. And the Anunnaki. Why is the Dead Sea Scrolls word for word to the KJV? Yes, because they take some things out and then other things they leave it in. Jeez, I didn't know that word was banned. It's banned on this live because yeah. So
Tôi
the
luôn
King James
nosy.
version. Yes, if just literally go Google it. Look up what kind of person King James was.
Oh,
Because he
you'll
was
be
an evil
surprised.
dictator. He was a
You'll be
he was a
surprised.
he was an evil dictator, and he dabbled in orgies,
And
incest,
he wrote the
murder.
book of demonology.
Yes, he wrote the book of demonology, and I think that book came before the King James
Yeah,
Bible. I
it was
think.
before. It
Yup.
was before.
So yeah, King James. Yeah, and this is where Edanland Cesar Borgia comes in. Rebelle Jesus. Rebellion Jesus enemy lugun.
Straight hair.
And then Malgo Paranum Pulu Mejen. Yeah, that's Molina Tanage Cesar Borgia. Imlanage Carnegin, the Pope of that time. And that landmiss Cesar Borgia, he was the lover of Da Vinci, Leonardo da Vinci, who painted the portrait of white Jesus. Can I get a amen? All right, that's history for you.
So, since you mentioned the Borgias, the background of the Borgia, their family is foundation of corruption.
Yeah.
So Caesar Borgia, dad, his father, Pope Alexander, or also known as Rodrigo Borgia, the reason why he came into power, how he came into power of the Pope, he killed, I think, 10 of the runners for the Pope who had true intention of healing the nation. But he didn't want that. He wanted the power. He wanted the Voldemort city to be in power, which it came in power. Till now, it's still in power of all the nations. The Voldemort city is the most powerful nation in the world as we are speaking.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Dang.
So, how they said the Roman Empire is dead,
Okay.
long gone. It's not.
Yeah, it's not. The
The
Voldemort
Roman,
city.
the Roman Empire today, in the modern day, is the Roman Catholic. Mhm.
Oh shit.
Okay, we talking about the V City
Mhm.
Winjaran.
Mhm.
The
I
Fiji
heard,
city.
I heard, I heard that they have locked up a lot of indigenous spiritual history.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Every single nation that they ever touched, which is everybody.
Have you all heard of the Order of Malta?
No, I'm going to look it up right now.
Same here.
Wait, what is? I don't
Order,
trust Google.
the Order of Malta.
Hey, would you guys mind if I ring my sound bowl?
Oh
Just
my gosh, ring it!
Oh yeah,
Yes.
the Knights of the Templar or the VCD. Yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about now.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna read it. The Order of Malta, officially the Sovereign Military Hospitaller Order of St. John of Jerusalem, of Rhodes, and of Malta, is a very old Catholic religious order that's both a charity and a tiny sovereign entity without its own territory. The breakdown. Founded in Jerusalem around 1048 during the Crusades as a hospital, order caring for sick and injured pilgrims, became militarized during the Crusades to defend Christian territories. Time out. Okay, so at first they were a hospital to help pilgrims, and then they became a military to defend Christians. After losing its base in the Holy Land, it moved to Rhodes and then Malta. And then they lost Malta to Napoleon in 1978. Wait, 1798, but retained its sovereignty. Today, it is a Catholic lay religious order recognized as a sovereign subject of international law, meaning it uses its own passport, stamps, and license plates and maintains diplomatic relations with over 100 countries, but has no land, but it has headquarters in Rome. So it gets like country country benefits, but it's not a country.
Mm-hmm.
that's crazy.
Have you heard or know about the main name Simon Kimbangu, Black Jesus from Congo? Who is Simon? Hold on. Simon
Kimbangu.
Kimbangu.
Kim
Kimbangu.
Black Jesus of Congo. Man, Congo, like Congo, so far from the things that I be reading, Congo and Ethiopia, those are very, very, very ancient lands. Like they
Yeah.
whitened history.
Yeah, that's why they're like spiritually attacked over there. Bad.
His message blend with the Congo. This Simon person. His message blended the Christian gospel with the call for African dignity and resistance to oppression, which threatened the Belgian colonial authorities and the Catholic Church dominance. What that mean? Blended the Christian gospel with a call for African dignity and resistance. So what? He's like, he spent 30 years in prison. What was he doing? Okay, yes. Hi, Elise. We're terrified and confused being big brain just like Jesus back in the days. Jesus was a Reiki healer. Jeez, what did Jesus do? Because they say Jesus disappeared for 20 years in the Bible. Because he appears in the Bible at 12 and then reappears at 33. He went to ancient Kemet and he learned the spiritual ways. It's the same thing Malcolm X got into, but they killed Malcolm X because when you learn about Malcolm X, you on the forefront they tell you about the violent stuff he wanted to do because he wanted to like fight back with the slave owners. He wanted to fight, like physically fight and bring violence. But then he went to the Mecca and he spent some time. He spent a few months there, and over there he learned about like basically like unity, right?
Yeah.
Like color and race don't matter. It's all love. We're all brothers and sisters.
Yep.
So when he came back with that new message. But then the rebeldes saw that and was like, oh, hell no, we can't have him wake up the people. So then they killed him. And whenever they talk about him, they only push what he was onto before he had that spiritual awakening.
Right.
So that's like the same things, the same steps that, well, not the same steps, but that's kind of like the same awakening that Jesus came to as well. That's why you hear about how Jesus was out in the streets hanging out with the less fortunate. He wasn't in the church preaching.
He was for the streets for real. And not in a negative connotation either.
In a good way. Yeah. So
Yeah,
he went and learned the stuff, because Reiki healing is energy work. Literally. And herbs. And he was also working with herbs and stuff like that.
Because they rewrote the history books that you learned in the schools.
Yeah, and plus this country is being rajadan this country the jungle jilu what family those I have to cut in my way. And Google has been infiltrated. Don't trust Google. They wiped out a bunch of stuff. So yeah, you good on the TikTok. And also look on YouTube, because they got old stuff on YouTube. YouTube's a time machine. You can find old stuff on YouTube. What was I talking about?
Don't you do
all up in this country. But the thing is, we don't know what they look like. We don't know what their new names are, their undercover names are nowadays. We don't know. We just don't know them at all. But and then human air is natija lain America. No. Human family is the banks. The justice system, the science system, the medical system, big pharma.
Yeah.
They control all these things. Then, so rolak kamane the education curriculum ngan jagain riap lo the education curriculum when they teach history. Gonna get regulatok history and imagine their perspective, all the positive things they did, etc., etc. So you're not going to learn none of this black and brown history in American public schools at all. Because a lot of what I know is from just reading random books on my free time, because I was making it click, because history is my favorite subject. So in public school, I always paid attention. So whenever I was paying attention to the lessons they were teaching, there was a lot of things that didn't make sense.
Oh my
So
god, same.
I would end up, yeah, like I would end up looking it up somewhere else, and then it would piece things together. And when you start piecing things together, you start to figure out that the whole time,
Yes. So in another word, kaya yung relang no rungan rabbit.
yeah.
Mm,
Yes, and all 13 families all come from the Anunnaki. Maybe
Yeah.
not. It's more draconians.
Draconians. The
Draconians are
wizard
the
people.
lizard people, the reptilians. So Ruone, Draconians, Yum Anunnaki Rajire. I probably shouldn't even be saying those words either. Cause that war is happening now. Rajaba could look at Yellow America, just yomun Draconian. Aga kumiran me Russia, Iran, all them are
Arabian.
they are those they represent Anunnaki, the fallen Anunnaki. There's Anunnaki gods, Anunnaki angels, Anunnaki fallen angels. And they say the Anunnaki fallen angels are the ones that are here that have been messing everything up.
Hmm.
Yeah.
In other words, the fallen angels.
Yeah. So there's them, and then there's the people that are actually from this earth. You know? Which is the indigenous people. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. So if you see everything around you and around the community and around society of especially America and everything is falling, yeah, it's energetic because it's like it's such a spiritual time right now because let's just say they killed off enough people for all those people to become souls and spirits on the other side to outnumber what the hell is going on here. So they're all, they're all teaming up and moving everybody on this side, which is people that are going through certain things. People that are going through spiritual awakenings, people that are going through breakups, leaving their jobs, moving homes right now, losing loved ones, because everything is being shaken up from the other side. So somebody explained it in energy. They explained it in energy. The earth naturally vibrates at 4.6 or 4.2 hertz to be at peace. But for the past month or so, earth has been vibrating at a 7.8 hertz. So she's having a panic attack.
That's why we have
So
earthquakes.
Yep.
there's earthquakes going on, there's tornadoes going on because she's clearing out the low vibrational energies, which is every single thing that these rebeldes coloners came up with, which is that they came up with the science system, the medical system, the education system, the 9 to 5 work system. All of those things are falling. They're falling. You see, look at whatever the hell Trump is doing right now. Yeah, that guy going crazy. But whatever he's doing, it's building up.
Yeah.
It's building up because at the same time, this is why it's very bad that Rumajo are so stuck in their own communities and while living in this country, because one thing they're not understanding of is power, right? Electricity. We get our, well, except for Texas and California. Texas and California, they have their own power grid. But the power grid all across the rest of the country, y'all get your power from places like Russia and Canada. Trump is he already started some BS with Canada, and Canada has been like, okay, if you keep pushing it, we're going to cut y'all's lights off.
They said knock if you buck.
Yes. That's why it's very important that we pay attention to the actual politics going on here, because it's really they're playing and it's going to affect us. One of these days y'all are going to see. Because if Trump pushes it that far, because he started some other stuff with Iran too, and they're saying, all right, if you keep messing with us, then we're gonna come to you. Like, come on, y'all, we gotta pay attention. So there's those things happening, and while it's not affecting us directly right now, we gotta get our shit together.
Yeah, no, it's not. So the music industry, eh, they they um they manipulated it too.
Wait, so is the frequency vibrations in music legit? Yes, you can manipulate music with vibrations. So a lot
Yeah,
of the stupid music they have right
right
now,
now
like
it's not
Alan
the
freaking
Sexy Red.
Ice Spice. No, I love Sexy Red. She ratchet, but
Oh, Ice Spice, I can't stand her.
no, actually, all of
Yeah.
them, right? They have, just as much as I love some of them, all of them. All of them, the frequency of their music is very low frequency,
yeah
and it sets the mood. Some songs you can, when you listen to it, you just want to, out of nowhere, you want to wake up today and I want to cheat, you know? If I wake up today, I want to go, I'm going to lie today. It's like that. Frequencies.
Right.
Frequencies. That's why they utilize the music industry the most to control everybody. That's why the Iranians are not using Google anymore. You shouldn't use Google anymore either. Google has been infiltrated. There's rumors going on about that. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
can I
frequencies.
put my 2 cents in the frequency vibration in the music industry?
Sure. Of course.
So there's on my Instagram, I posted a story about the music industry, and it is true because I see it now. And it says that, and then the devil will come for the children, and which is true because he is the mastermind of songs, music.
That was his department.
Yeah. So his frequency, all of these rap music, all of these, and then hip hop nowadays, rap, R&B, all of these songs, they're in his frequency. It all leads to his frequency.
Wait, who
And
was it?
so he's the one that manipulated
Yeah, wasn't
the
he the angel of music?
yeah.
Yeah, that's what he was.
So he is the one that manipulated the frequency of the music industry. That's why in that movie, and then what's that one movie with Bobby Johnson?
Bobby Johnson.
That's what
Are
they
you
said.
were you talking about the when you met at the crossroads?
That's why
Oh
they
yeah,
said.
yeah.
That's why they
Oh,
yeah. So when you sign a contract with them, you're basically signing your whole life, your death contract with them, soul for soul.
yeah. Well. He met with Papa Legba. Papa Legba is the spirit at the crossroads. He made a deal with him. Yeah, it's like if that's a spirit. Yes, it's a deity. But at the same time, yes, it is still possible to this day, even if you don't become like mainstream famous, even if you don't become a movie star or a rap artist or anything like that, you can still sell your soul.
hmm
Like you can sell your soul, you can sell your soul and do hella good in business. You get or in politics. You know, it doesn't always have to be celebrity music stuff. It's you can still sell your soul. Period.
Yeah, well, look at the time. It's 12 o'clock. I gotta hit the bed.
It's 2 over here. Good talk. Good talk. We shall try again next Sunday.
Yeah, this is great.
Oh yeah, it's juicy. But thank you for tuning in and thank you for participating. We shall continue next week after 10:30. I don't get on right at 10:30. It's always after, cause you know I'm not trying to be like if I say 10:30 on the dot, I'm just gonna give myself anxiety. So
That's so much
yeah.
this time.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining. I'll see you guys later.
One beautiful. Good
Dude, I'm
night.
like throwing the peace sign like my camera's on.
Yeah.
Oh my god. You know what? Let's do this.
Hey, Tristan, can
I'm
you ring
sorry.
your bell one more time?
Sure. Cut that up.
Oh, yes.
What bell?
This is the ball.
The sound bowl.
The
To
sound
clear the
ball.
frequencies. I need to get one. I'm going to get one. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Good night, Olive.
Okay. Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.